Well guys, welcome back. We are going to be reacting to the 13 best games coming in July. I think the one of them is going to be the new Jujutsu Kaisen trailer game thing. I don't know when it's coming out. I heard about it. I saw some gameplay, but I did not see the release date for it, so I'm pretty sure that's gonna be one of them. I can't think of any big hitters coming out this July though. Could be dumb. Like could just be not like thinking straight, but I honestly don't think there's gonna be any big hitters this month. So I mean, we're just gonna jump in here and see.
Why hello, welcome back. It is a new month, which means
Hello.
a brand new list of brand new games released.
That looks like
some
Anthem.
of which at least hopefully turn out to be worth playing. Today we are back with yet another overview.
I know it wasn't Anthem, but that looked a lot like Anthem.
Games, this one for July 2023. This also means I'm going to get a whole host of comments asking why some popular recently released game isn't in this month's list, like say Diablo 4. Well, it's not in this month's list because it didn't release in this.
Yeah, it released last month.
Specifically about new games coming in the month. I don't know why I have to explain this. Every
Season 1, I believe, is starting in July, but I think yeah, the official release, early access, whatever you want to call it, was last. Yes, that's right.
Every single month, every single list. What is so hard to understand? Anyways, July, new games, and in order of release date, we are kicking things off with Exoprimal. This is a team-based PvEVP third-person shooter. In this game,
was this the first one?
Completing objectives and competing against other players while fighting our way through hordes of dinosaurs that rain from the sky. Quite literally, that's not just like an exaggeration, they actually fall from the sky. Combat in this game is looking really slick, and from some of the early hands-on impressions videos,
yeah, this looks actually quite good.
Feedback is looking really good with what people are saying. Our responses
Dinosaur looks so out of place.
Audio feedback and just all around. Seems like it's a pretty snappy and fun game to play. The setup
and it looks like Warframe.
of Exoprimal is pretty straightforward. 2 teams of 5 will compete in these objectives.
The designs of the characters,
the first ones to complete specific tasks while also fighting back dinosaurs, and all of this culminates in a round of PvP as sort of the final showdown. So the game features 10 different exosuits, each with their own weapons and abilities. And
that looks it.
One of 3 distinct roles. Basically, these function like classes in any other team-based shooter. So you'll have variations on things like assaults, tanks, and supports for you to pick from.
Okay.
Team synergy, as you might expect, is going to play a big role, with each and every exosuit being stronger or weaker, depending on what type.
Depending on how good this can be, might become like a mini esports series if there's lots of hype around it. I could very well see this like turning into somewhat like a esports type of thing. I very much doubt it, but if it has enough innovative like ideas and stuff, it really could be.
You're fighting what sort of dinosaur? Are they single target or big hordes? Do you need a support? Do you need someone tanking the front lines? And then also PvP is going to require its own combinations of exosuits to take on and counter whatever your opponents pick. Speaking of which, you are able to swap suits on the fly. This isn't a game where you're just picking one exosuit and sticking with it for the entire match. No, you
look at that. That's nice.
Any point from what I could tell. So the game is divided into 2 main sections, starting with the PvE. So each and every match will start with a pre-lobby. Here you select your initial exosuit as well as a rig, and these rigs basically just allow for further customization of your weapons and abilities. When the match begins, you'll be taking on one of a variety of game modes. There's things like payload push, where you have to move a payload while fighting back dinosaurs as you progress from point A to B. Elimination, where you basically run through a course clearing massive groups of dinosaurs. In each and every mode, and there's many more than this, you will also be competing against the other team of players to try to finish that objective the fastest or rack up the highest score. So as you move through things, you're actually going to see the opposing.
The fuck is with the giant hands?
This is going to give you an idea of how well you're doing if you're ahead or behind them. And it turns out actually if one team falls too far behind, there's like a catch-up mechanic where you can summon in a player-controlled Tyrannosaurus Rex and use them to try to disrupt the enemy team. It's got a combination of enemy dino types. There's the bog standard, traditional real-life dinos like the raptors, triceratops, pterodactyls and the like, but also neosaurs, which are these mutated magical
that
dinosaurs
looks
with all
cool.
sorts of special powers and abilities. After completing the first phase of objectives, whatever that happens to be, you will then move into phase 2. At this point, you are teleported to a new location and given a new task. This is where the
Unlucky.
PvP kicks in, because in most cases, the second phase of any match is primarily PvP focused. In addition to whatever your new goals are, you're also able to directly fight the opposing team. Exoprimal is looking pretty cool. This is definitely one of my most anticipated new games.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It'll be releasing on July 14th, coming to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation for $59.99. This is also a game that is going to be available day one on Game Pass. Now, normally it would be time for me to tell you about the second game on this list, but right now it's actually time for me to tell you about today's sponsor, Holzkern. These are really unique watches made of all natural materials, including various kinds of wood and stone. I recently got their sternum watch. This particular model is made out of...
That kind of looks like metal as well.
I've been wearing it for a couple of weeks now on the rare occasions that I'm not gaming and making videos and I decide to leave the house. And I really like it. You know, it's clearly made of high quality materials. It feels durable. It's comfortable.
I'm just not a watch guy, so I don't give a damn.
They look neat, which is pretty vital for anything that you are going to be wearing.
I could care less about looking nice for anybody. If I go to any like big like thing, I'm always dressing the comfiest I can because yeah, I mean, I don't want to sit uncomfortable like in an uncomfortable suit or anything. I'd rather go in sweatpants, jersey, you know, just dress comfy.
As I was browsing through picking my own watch. Now, all of their products from these watches, but also things like sunglasses.
If I ever make it big and I'm like invited to like any like big like event, you know, you sure as hell know I'm gonna be the one, the comfiest fucking thing ever. While everybody else is like in suits and stuff, I'm gonna be dressed the comfiest in sweatpants and stuff. Like fuck that. This is a YouTube event, TwitchCon event, you know? We're all just people. I don't give a damn what we wear.
This comes with a 24-month warranty as well as a 24-day.
And if they give us a dress code, and if you don't follow the dress code you get kicked out, well then I'm getting kicked out, or I'm just not going. So
return. So if you are interested in checking out Holzkern for yourself or as a gift for someone, be sure to follow my link in the description below and use code FORCE15.
Like the wood really looks nice, but again, I'm just not a watch guy.
Time to move on to the second game in this month's list, and that is Jagged Alliance 3. This is the latest installment in the acclaimed turn-based tactics series that dates all the way back to the mid-90s.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of turn-based games like this.
Missing and a paramilitary force
Final Fantasy style, yes, but this no.
A group of skilled mercenaries with their own unique personalities, quirks, and backstories are now tasked with restoring order. Beyond that story setup, Jagged Alliance
reminds me of a mobile game for some reason.
For each and every mission, you're going to select from a roster of characters, assembling a team that ideally balances out each of their strengths to fill their distinct roles to take on whatever the challenge upcoming is going to be. There's now a whole new cast of characters as well as some returning familiar fan favorites. The gameplay has you engaging with that tactical turn-based combat with a few new modern-day twist, bells, and whistles. Beyond fighting, you'll be looting and salvaging, allowing you to customize an arsenal.
I don't have much to say about games like this, because I don't play them. I don't want to give my dumbass opinion about it.
You can sneak in the back, go in guns blazing, or try to set up traps. As you progress, your mercs will gain experience and level up, letting you choose from an array of perks to specialize in. They've also said it's got this open RPG structure where the choices you make will impact the outcome and some of the story. There's a bunch of high-level meta systems like territory control, letting you train the locals to defend themselves. You can also command multiple units simultaneously, and the game is going to offer a host of customization options, letting you tailor the challenge with 3 difficulty tiers as well as a bunch of game rules to choose from, such as Dead is Dead with regular autosaves and permadeath for your characters, To the Bitter End, which disables saving during combat. There's lethal weapons, which make it so there's no downstate and your mercs will die when reaching 0 HP, and then Forgiving Mode, which makes it so the recovery from tough situations is that much easier. The game also has online co-op, letting you play through the entire campaign with other players. Jagged Alliance 3 is coming to PC via Steam on July 14th for $44.99. There's also currently a 20% discount if you buy.
I know lots of people are gonna play it. Like I know a couple of people.
Just waiting for reviews.
Honestly,
I'm money unless you can, of course, get a refund, which You should be able to when it comes to Steam, if you don't play too much, that is, at least, and if you don't abuse the refund system. But anyways, yeah, there you go, Jagged Alliance 3. Next up is Ember Knights, an action roguelite that follows the traditional rogue formula. You start with nothing, progress through levels, getting stronger as you
I've
go,
seen
also
this.
taking on more difficult challenges. Combat is all about reading enemy attacks, positioning yourself, dodging, and deciding when to strike. So go in, fight enemies, clear the room, collect an upgrade, and then choose from a branching path, deciding where you want to go next, depending on what it is you might need.
Hey, this is more type of my game, but
include a bunch of different
it's not a game I'll
skills
play
to
like
choose
on
from,
like
boss battles that present themselves as
like,
challenging fights.
I won't play it on camera. I mean,
And gear check.
I'll play it on camera.
Run. There's a variety of merchants. These will sell things like consumables, relics, and new skills. Consumables.
But I thought this came out a long time ago. Was it just in alpha state, beta state, or whatever you want to fucking call it?
Time. There's an account
Yes, it was.
with these relic unlocks, which will grant you
But yes, I've seen this game.
new passive
I think I saw it like
runs,
a couple of months ago.
opening up the variety of things that you can unlock as you progress through the game. And this
But again,
can be
I thought
played
it got
solo
released
or in
already.
co-op with groups of up to 4. Ember Knights officially launches on July 18th on the PC and Switch. Now, the game has been in Steam Early Access since April 2022, and currently the user reviews sit at overwhelmingly positive. So
Yeah, it's a very well-made game.
It seems like this might be a pretty safe bet. Next up on the list is Remnant 2, sequel to Remnant from the Ashes,
Ooh.
or as it's otherwise known, Dark Souls with guns. The original game, which released back in 2019,
Yeah, I remember the first one.
was by all accounts
I didn't for a shit play it, but I remember
at
it.
the time. Gunfire Games really put together what ended up being quite a solid experience. Not without its jank, it had some of its issues and rough edges, but
Yeah, but
overall,
lots of
it was a
games
really
have
fun game.
rough
Now, Remnant
issues.
2 is looking to take the best of that original and add on top of it. The game, for one, looks a lot better, that is for sure, with much cleaner and more polished visual style, but more importantly, it aims to offer more engaging combat, deeper progression systems, and just
What the
more
fuck is
fleshed
that?
out features and
If
games.
that's in an actual Dark Souls game,
Combat continues to
that
offer
weapon's
mix
gonna be
of ranged
cool.
and melee gameplay as you strategically engage with enemies and larger-than-life bosses. Everything
Look
here
at that.
has received an overhaul.
You can
The main
actually
weapons
use it, man. That's
better to
insane.
shoot, and melee looks to actually be a viable real playstyle. Enemies are also said to have a wider variety of attacks. There are also going to be more enemies and more.
This game
reasons
actually
to
looks
use
quite
the
good.
Player. They've also updated the stamina system, so now this only depletes while you're in combat, so you don't have to worry about running out of breath as you're just walking around. And exploration got a big overhaul as you can now jump gaps. There's going to be a lot more verticality to the levels that you move yourself through. Speaking of the levels, a whole bunch of new worlds with multiple new locations to explore, each with procedurally placed layouts, and will be full of.
Oh, the story looks very confusing
Progression
though.
system has been expanded. The archetype system for
Oh,
one
poor
offers
lady.
these unique passive bonuses and powers.
She snitched, and now she got her mouth sewed.
This time around, you are able to multi-class, equipping multiple archetypes, creating essentially.
You can push your teammate
combinations.
back like that and stun lock him? Oh, that's gonna be so
You
annoying.
can have any sort of combo of whatever classes you want. Pretty cool, and this seems to offer a lot of potential. And replayability, that is a staple of a game like this, and they are saying it is stronger than ever, with branching quest lines, augments, crafting, and loot that you'll be bringing with you into the dynamically generated levels and dungeons. Even the tutorial has procedural elements, so no two tutorials will evidently be the same. Remnant 2, I am incredibly excited about this one. It will be coming to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation on July 25th for $49.99. Telltale Games, developer of the critically acclaimed Walking Dead video game series, has a new title coming out based on the Expanse franchise. Following Kamina Drummer, we'll be exploring the dangerous and uncharted edges of the belt aboard the Artemis, scavenging wrecked ships in Zero G,
I don't really care much.
fearsome pirates, and making difficult choices along the way. Some of the major
This
features
looks
of
like
this
a more
game include
morale-based
zero-G
game.
gameplay as we scour shipwrecks and use mag boots to walk along walls and ceilings, also utilizing thrusters to float through the void. They are calling this the largest and most immersive exploration in any Telltale game to date. We'll be managing a crew that are rife with tense relationships and powerful personalities. We'll have to make tough decisions that decide everyone's fate. The game includes 5 episodes of story for us to play through, with choices made in one directly impacting what happens in another. The Expanse, a Telltale series, series will be launching on July 27th. It is coming to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation for $39.99. Now, Immortals of Avium was also supposed to be on the main section of this list, as it was originally scheduled to release on July 20th.
And then it got delayed.
This is that new first-person magic shooter from EA. Unfortunately, that game was recently delayed. It is now coming out in August, so we'll be pushing it over to that month's list when the time comes. So that concludes the main part of the list, but we have got, of course, some bonus games to mention, as well as a few betas that you can check out. First up on the bonus games is Guilt. This is a rather unique-looking narrative adventure game that has you exploring this fictional old mining town set in the state of Maine. Yeah, that's a pretty cool place.
Okay.
Yeah, the game is full of puzzles, stealth, and action, they say. You'll be navigating and discovering clues in the world, figuring out the mystery behind one of your friend's disappearance. You can also take on
it's a horror game.
or stay in the shadows with an array of tools to distract and hide from the foes. Guilt launches on July 6th, and I just think this is
look at this. His feet are ugly.
Style of this one. Next up on July 13th, we've got Testament: The Order of High Human. This is a first-person single-player action-adventure game that combines bits of RPG and Metroidvania elements. It offers
Why does it look like
mixing of combat
Skyrim?
With different potential combinations of swords, spells, and bow, as you're also moving through this
it very much looks like Skyrim.
Puzzles. This kind of seems like an indie Elder Scrolls game if I were to be super reductive. This one again launches on July 13th. On July 26th, we're seeing the PC release of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Finally!
Too much about this game. Pretty popular, well known. The game reviewed really well. It's the newest Ratchet
Finally
and Clank
coming
game.
to PC, man.
PC
Fuck me. It's been like 3 years, 2 years. 4 years. It came out with the PlayStation 5, didn't it? Traced reflections and shadows, support for NVIDIA DLSS as well as AMD FSR and Intel XeSS, all of which give performance-enhancing upscaling. There's a wide variety of graphical options, which of course you expect from a PC game, and they support achievements and cloud saves for the various PC game launchers. Ratchet & Clank, it's coming to PC. Pretty safe bet here. Reviews have been out for a while, as long as the port isn't total trash, which not taking that for granted nowadays, as had a really rough time. Yeah, it has been really bad lately.
Tales and Tactics. We don't have a release date, but it is scheduled for some time in July. This is a
I'm not a big fan of
squad-based
deck-based games.
that was actually developed by a bunch of Slay the Spire modders. It's set on this tabletop RPG.
I know people said Slay the Spire was like a very difficult game, but when I got it for free, because it was when it was still free on the PlayStation, for like, you know, the monthly games, I played it for a week, less than a week, and I didn't 100% it, but I basically got to the end game first day. No, it was about the second day, and then I just, you know, it was literally such an easy game, and I was like, okay, I'm bored of this. I'd rather go play something else, like a Final Fantasy game or something.
Setting, you'll be drafting an army that you'll carefully equip and position your units, make important choices, and meet a colorful cast of characters. Really cool, unique looking game. A couple of beta tests that I wanted to make you aware of that are some of which available right now. So we've got the Division Heartland. That beta started on June 27th. This is basically Division survival mode with more objectives, and I think it's also got some extraction elements in it, but pretty keen on this one. So if you get access to the beta, check it out. I'm going to for sure. Arc Raiders has a beta on June 29th. This is that third-person PvPvE extraction shooter set in like Mars or something. It's out in space. Really cool, slick look to this one. Love the presentation. I've been anticipating this one for a while. We've also got Warhammer Age of Sigmar Realms of Ruin. They have a beta on
yes,
July
I've heard
7th.
of this.
This is a Warhammer real-time strategy game. And then also Path of Exile 2, as far as I know, is supposed to be getting a beta sometime soon. I don't know if it's going to be happening in July, but I think it is in the realm of possibility. So
I'd like to play Path of Exile. It's just that the first one is like, the game has gotten to the point where if you're a new player, you have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, it is so complicated, man. I'd love to jump in and play it, but so if I'm able to, I will play Path of Exile 2, and you know, it's obviously if you play the first one, you'll know exactly what to do, but it's a new game, it's a fresh start, might as well jump in it and see how it goes.
This month's list of new upcoming games. When it comes to
So
my
I might
choices,
play it
the
if it
things
comes
that
out,
I am
when it
most
comes
likely
out.
to play this month and check out. I'm gonna put the top 2 as Exo Primal. I think this looks cool, even if it's just to mess around for a few days to a week. Seems like it could be a good bit of fun. I also like these games that come out that have PvP when they first launch. Tends to be a bit of a mess before people really understand and get their bearings, and I like messing around in that time frame for these games. It's just really enjoyable, mainly because you could stomp a bunch of noobs, right? And eventually I become the noob, so it's fine, I get it, right? And then also Remnant 2, I am
this one is
because
actually quite good.
This is my #1 most anticipated new game coming out in July. I cannot wait. Looks to be a lot of fun. Big improvements on the original, and I'm super excited about that. Other than that, I'm hoping to jump into and check out the beta test for both Division Heartlands and Arc Raiders. But there you go, that does it for this month's list, as always.
That's actually quite a list of games to play.
Let me know what you think below. Also, be sure to leave your comments about why isn't Diablo 4 on this list? Why isn't other recently released popular game on this list? Why is it
because it's already come out?
Because it didn't release in July. If it's coming out in July, that's how it makes it on the list. If it came out before July, it's not gonna be on the list. I have to explain this every month. It drives me crazy. Most of you get it, but I swear some of you, it's right over your heads. All right, thank you for watching. Hope
I feel like those people that do that is just trolling. Well then, let me know what games you guys are excited for. Again, his list does look to be sound. Nothing else really piqued my interest. Yeah, no, that's the sponsorship. I'm actually quite happy that Ratchet and Clank is finally coming over, but I mean, over to PC. But the port is the problem, getting it on the PC. It sucks that this one got delayed. This actually looks really cool.
Unfortunately, that game was recently delayed. It is now coming
Yeah, no,
August,
it really kind of sucks. But I mean, overall, it's coming out next month, I think. So, I mean, it's still fine. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.